So today's video is meant to be at Carnoustie beach for a sunrise. It's raining, but it looks like it's going to be a bonny sunrise, so it's a bit annoying with the wind. There's maybe a wee bit too much wind to do some decent filming and for you to hear me speaking, so it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. I'm going to try and take some photos from the car, and then I'm going to, because I don't want to miss the sunrise, and then I want to take some, I'm going to jump out and take some photos just before it disappears into the clouds, because there's a layer of clouds above, and the sun's only going to be available for 20 minutes maybe. There's a lot of birds kicking about, so that might be something to try and catch between my camera and the sun rising in the horizon. Is maybe something to try and capture in between, because there is quite a few of them kind of hovering about in the wind because it's that windy. So if I can maybe catch them in my viewpoint of my photo, then that might be a decent picture, and it might be a trip not wasted. The plan was to be walking up and down the beach, to be honest, and getting some good, long exposures, but it's that windy, you're not going to hear me in the camera, so I'm just kind of sitting in my car just now. Kind of seems to be a lazy kind of way of doing it, but I don't want to miss the sunset. I got up for the sunset, so for the sunrise, so it's just going alive. There's been a wee rain shower at the start, but there's an oil tanker coming into view right on the horizon, and I'm sure that is the Bell Rock I can see away over in the distance. So what I've done is I've got my 55mm to 200mm zoom lens on, and I'm going to try and catch that Bell Rock. I don't know how well you can hear me just now. It's freezing and it's windy, but there's a stunning sunrise going on behind me, and it's just kind of lighting up the clouds there, and it's shooting right away across the horizon. What to do.
So hit me up, you know it's all I'm waiting for. Oh, would you hit me up? I've been waiting my whole life, oh, for you to hit me up.
So so I could have walked up and down the beach, but I would never have got my video done. So back in the car, jacket and everything off, wellies off, and I'm going to head back inland and see if I can find a bonny woodland. So from the sea to the woods. So got my drone, might get some low footage of the drone going through the woods, try and capture this autumn feeling that the woods gives when the leaves are falling. No wind like we had at the sea, so I'll show you the pictures of the sea as we go through the video. This is a different location, somewhere I've never been before. I've been to the other side, as I said earlier, Crombie Reserve, so let's get going.
I've never felt this way. I wanna turn back time, save me some heartbreak. Oh, would you stay for me if I let you in? So secretly, yeah, my melody, yeah, my melody. You stay with me if I let you in.
So I've entered Crombie Wildlife Reserve. I'm kind of walking around the water just now. It's we're out of the wind at least, but a lot of the colours have kind of died down now. So I'll keep walking around. As I was coming around the corner there, I seen this nice arch going over the path. Now that gets me thinking on, you could take a photo of the arch. How about I put this down? Maybe just stand here and see the winding path going through and thinking, well, that's a nice photo. But everybody's got a photo like that, so how could you make that picture different? I mean, there's not much leaves on the tree, but there is colour there, and there is a route of the path. But then if you stand back a metre, and then you've got branches like this. So these branches have got the odd yellow leaf on them. So maybe if I take the camera out, swap over my 200mm lens that I had on for the sea, and put on my 55mm lens that I can use in the woods, because I think it is everything's too close knit. Unless you're wanting shots over the water, that's what you really need your powerful lens for, because it's got a bit more punch to it. But I'm in the woods, out of the wind. I've come across this in a bonny wee arch, bent over with the natural shape of the branches, and I think if we maybe play our cards right and we think about it just a wee bit more, if I move you back just a wee bit, maybe about here. So move the bags out the way, don't want them in the picture, creeping out at the bottom. So how can we make this different? Switch on the camera. And I'm going to try and maybe get these leaves and then that picture's blurred in the background. So what I've done is I've got the arch of that branch just curling over the top of my photo. It's a bit blurred in the background with the path kind of waving through the arch, and I've got these leaves in focus. It just adds a different effect to the picture. So yeah, it just adds a wee bit of depth to your picture. It's always something to think about instead of just seeing something bonny and just taking that image straight away. Also, another good tip is go low down, crouch. So I took that photo at 1/8 of a second shutter speed, and I'm at f5 and I'm at ISO 100. But I've not put that path in the middle of my picture, I've put that path at the right hand side of my picture. So you get more in your photo, plus it's not just things centred. I don't really like getting stuff centred in my photos. If I can change it, I think centred's maybe done all the time. So I've moved that path across to the right hand side of my photo, which brings in the foliage and the bracken at the side. And then with that, because that's a wee bit closer than the tree, then you've got the depth of that bracken and the foliage, plus the meandering path going off to the right underneath your arch, which covers the top of your picture, which should, in theory, bring up a really good picture. So I'll try it again, just from a wee different angle. We'll see what that looks like in post editing. Not the best light today, it seems to be dulling over again, so we'll keep moving and we'll see what we can get, but that seems to be, that's kind of like my thought process as I go through taking photos, is try and think of a different option, try and think of a different aspect. All it takes is for you to bend down or move over or step back, that's all it takes, and you just get a totally different photo than what you first expected.
I just like the way you are, yeah. All the ways you blow my mind, yeah. People always told me I need someone like you, someone who gets me and someone who's cool, yeah. And I like the way you are, and now I want it all.
So if I play my cards right, just walked around the corner, we've got this wavy path going through the woods, and I think if we just hang off, because the sun's coming in and it's coming out, I think if we hang off just a couple of minutes, we might be able to catch something really special coming through these trees. There's that much trees and branches running through there, it should leave some nice shadows on the path. What I'm doing is I'm keeping my photo underexposed, so it's really quite dark, and when I go to edit it, with the light that's coming through the trees, hopefully I can get the nice contrast between the light and the dark shadows on my post editing and in my Lightroom afterwards, and it really does bring up the picture. It seems to bring out colours and hidden parts of the picture that you wouldn't probably usually see if you were just to take a photo in a normal exposure. See my bum. Really, this place really is kind of kicking off. Just this little one area, if I turn you around a wee bit, this one wee area with all these trees and the sunlight coming through and all the different kinds of plants and foliage I've got, plus you can see the cobwebs and everything like that. There's heaps of stuff that you can put around the edge of your picture here. There's border material, and every picture should have a border, shouldn't it? So I took two pictures there at 1/400 of a second at f5, ISO 100 as usual, and with the tree and then the scattered kind of weeds at the front here, it's adding depth to the picture. You're actually seeing through, and your eye's getting drawn from the front right the way through to the back to the tree, and then the sun's beating through in the background, and I'm hoping it just comes up really good.
The way you move, I've been following every move you make, 'cause I love the way you make me move when I'm around you. I feel so calm, so glad I found you. With the way you move, I'm gonna make
So I've been standing about here just kind of looking at the scenery, wondering what I'm going to get with my photos, but look at that sky. The sun's coming out now, but the clouds and the sky were stunning there just for a second. Hopefully you can still see that with the brightness of the sun. I'm trying to capture it, because I'm shooting into the sunlight. I put an ND filter on, 8 stopped I think it is, ND filter, and that's letting me get a better quality picture shooting towards the sun, and it's taking off the glare of the water as well. All I could do is some ducks or something, some kind of wildlife to kick about would be fine. Nothing really spectacular going on here, but it seems awfully quiet. I don't know there's a weird atmosphere today here. Maybe it's because of the wind and the rain this morning. I don't know, but sometimes that invigorates all the wildlife and it gets the wildlife going, but it doesn't seem to be happening today. Nothing much happening at all. So if there's nothing much happening at all when you're doing photography, what do you do? What's the next step? All the ideas that you had through getting up early in the morning for the sunrise at Carnoustie Beach, which got some good pictures and I'm looking forward to editing them, but the whole process of the video was thrown out the window because of the wind and the rain. So then I moved inland into Crombie Park Reserve, Nature Reserve, got some decent photos, tried to put the drone up, too windy still, and although the wind's died down now, but what's the next step? Where's all the animals gone? It's meant to be a nature reserve, there's nothing really here to get. So I'm sitting here beside, I think this is like a swallow's nest, the bird nest, big box bird nest anyway. I'll turn around and let you see in a minute. But how can I make the best out of a poor situation? How can I get a good photo just to make my trip worthwhile? Just hanging about for that wee 10 minutes and then speaking to you through my process of being disappointed. The sun comes out and it lights up stuff, and that's the main key for your photography, is the light. And if you don't have it, and if you're struggling to get it, it really does make it really hard. And but it popped out there and it lit up the water, and because I've got my ND filter on, that just took away the glare, and I got a nice picture with the green evergreen trees in the background, with the curve of the water over to the bird hut at the side there. And I think that'll be a pretty good picture, I think.
Oh, would you stay for me if I let you in? So secretly, you are my melody, yeah, my melody. Would you stay with me if I let you in? I just like the way you are, yeah.
See my bum. It's been a bit of a up and down day from the sunrise at Carnoustie Beach to the struggles at Crombie Park. It's yeah, it's been hard. It's been a difficult one today, especially with the elements of the wind and the low light. It's not been the best, but I think it's been worthwhile. It's been a good trip. I've got a good few photos, and we'll see what like that. And if you are still liking these videos, please subscribe and like and leave a comment. Get involved with the YouTube experience. I always try and reply to all the comments. So, but if you can subscribe, that really does help me out, and it keeps me going to get these videos out and get some good quality footage for you guys as well. It lets you see a bit of Angus that probably doesn't get the attention that it needs, to be honest. West coast of Scotland seems to get more attention than the east. And the east of Scotland's just as stunning. It's maybe not as dramatic, but it's just as stunning as the west. So there's heaps of these wee hidden places and hidden gems that nobody knows about. So yeah, if you're not from Scotland and you're watching these videos, Angus is one of the places that you want to go to. It's not only Scotland's birthplace, but it's definitely got a lot of history going on, and there's heaps of things to see, from castles to water reserves to stunning sunrises and sunsets. So if you're liking these videos, I'll try and get that footage to you, and so if you subscribe to the videos for me, it really does help. But thanks again just now, and we'll catch you later. We'll see you in the next video, wherever that may be. I might go and try and get some more pictures of this swan before I get home. Anyway.